Hey there, friends and enemies. Jopi here again, and today I want to talk about the pros and cons of using Whatnot as a sports card collector, because there are a lot of fantastic deals to find on this site. However, there are also some major pitfalls to be aware of, and I want to kind of touch on the things that I've learned so far. I do a lot of my shopping these days, whether it's on Whatnot or eBay online, and this is a platform that you can really utilize in order to add to your collection and get some steals if you know where to look. So that's one thing I want to mention. There are a lot of different shows. So it doesn't just apply to sports cards specifically. There's trading cards as well. There's comics, all sorts of other items to search for. It's also easy to find the shows that you're looking for. You can search by the type of cards. This is much easier to do on mobile, but you can do it as well on the website. So you can search by basketball cards, for example. You can find a variety of different shows, whether they are single shows, you can see at the bottom here, or you can look for breaks, which I'm not necessarily a fan of, and I'll explain why. But you can also look at multi-sport options if you want to look for a bit of everything. A lot of times the seller will label what they're doing. For example, they might do a Jordan Brady singles show, so they're only specifically selling those players if that's what you're interested in. So you can search that up top as well. A lot of things to really utilize in order to find whatever options are best for you, and look at all these different categories. So I do like that. I do like that you can break it down and really search for what you're looking for. You can look at type of show. You can search for the category, like what type of item you're looking for, show format as well, auctions, breaks, singles, surprise sets. So a lot of that to really take advantage of. And there's a couple places that I think Whatnot really shines. And if you were unaware, and this is something for sellers, your first week selling, you will actually get a bonus of double what you sell, up to $150. So if you sell over $150 worth of items, you will get that $150 bonus. If you only sell $100, you will get a $100 bonus, so you essentially make $200. And this is really advantageous for new sellers. However, you have to be aware of what you're doing, and there's some caveats. I'll do a whole nother video on selling on Whatnot. If you are interested in that, let me know in the comments down below. But as far as buying goes, that leads to you being able to find smaller channels that might be selling good product for lower than the comp price on eBay. And that's really, really nice. You can find cards. I found a numbered De'Aaron Fox silhouette card, for example, numbered 275 for $1. And that's impossible to find on eBay. And a card that, as a Spurs fan, I'm really interested in. So you have to kind of search for the things that you're looking for, especially with regards to singles. If you have shows that are lower in the population count, you can really find a lot of good deals. You just have to be aware of how shipping works as well. So oftentimes you'll see the shipping at the bottom. If you plan on buying a bunch of cards, the shipping might not matter. But if you're only buying one or two cards at $1 or $2 a piece, that $4 to $5 shipping could be a problem. Some sellers who ship with a plain white envelope will have 78-cent shipping. And understanding the shipping patterns is the first big tip I would give people. If you see the 78-cent shipping, that means the next shipping and taxes is going to be about 30 some odd cents. And then after that, it'll probably be free. Then it'll jump up to 38 cents. And eventually it'll go up to like $3 or $4, depending on how big your package gets. But those shows are really nice for finding inexpensive cards, right? $1 or $2 cards that you want to add to your collection. The difference is if you see a shipping that starts at about anywhere from $4 to $5, oftentimes one purchase or a giveaway will eliminate that shipping entirely. Not always, so be aware of that. It doesn't always guarantee that. But a lot of times, if you know you're in a show that you're going to be buying $100 worth of items, then that $5 shipping does not matter. It's not going to be a big deal. And that's where I think a lot of the misconceptions can be. It's like, oh, I don't want to spend $5 on shipping. I can get free shipping on eBay, but you can combine an order and spend $5 total shipping for a bunch of different cards. And that's really where I like to take advantage of that. And I mentioned giveaways a little bit. This is something to be aware of. Oftentimes, if you're in a channel anyway looking for cards, maybe you don't see anything you want, oh, you don't want to pay the $5 shipping or whatever. If you win a giveaway, that might eliminate shipping as well. So there are a lot of ways that kind of take advantage of the system and allow it to work in your favor. And as a buyer, that's something that is really, really interesting, because it allows me to get deals on items that I would be paying for regardless, but now I don't feel like I'm overpaying for those items. The flip side of that, though, is if you're in a really big channel, right? This one that's 100 plus viewers. That is where you want to buy big cards, but you have to really know what you're looking for. And sometimes you can get deals on a $100 card and maybe win it for about $80 or something like that. The opposite, though, is a major problem. A lot of times you'll see smaller cards, $2, $3 cards going for about $10, $15 in those bigger channels. And so understanding the market when you're in a bigger channel is very, very important, because you want to make sure that you're getting the best possible deal that you can and understanding what that item. I don't want to pay $100 for a card that I can get on eBay for $75. I don't want to pay $15 for a card I can get on eBay for $3 and just do a buy it now real quick. So that's really something to be aware of. Yes, it's auction site, so oftentimes they're running 15, 30 seconds max. And so it's going very, very quickly, and you really don't have the time to look up the specific card that is on screen. Some of them look really interesting, but that's where I'd be cautious. It's one thing to spend $1, $2, $3 on a card that's probably maybe worth $8, $9, $10, and that feels really good. But if you spend that $1, $2, $3 and the card is only worth $1, it's not a big loss. And that's really something that I think leads to a big misconception with a lot of people. They're looking for deals, but also the sellers are looking to make money. And at the end of the day, that is where you have to understand the market, understand what you're looking for. And if you don't mind, if you're just looking for specific cards, specific players, and you're willing to spend a little bit of a premium, oftentimes on Whatnot, you can get lots of cards for a set price and ultimately come out as a winner. So this is why I like the platform. It's allowed me to really grow my collection, especially my personal collection that I like of the teams that I root for. And it's really allowed me to get a lot of cards while spending as little money as possible and not really having to worry about it. You're not always going to find the best cards with for deals, but I, for example, spent $20 on a Frank Gore auto patch, right, that I've been looking for a long time. Maybe I overpaid on it, but I couldn't find a similar option for that same price on eBay that I really liked, and I love the way this one looks. I like the patch. I like that. So when you find something on Whatnot, it really does feel nice, because it feels like you're specifically adding to the collection that you're looking for. So I do feel like this is what the site is for, and why it's been booming recently, as long as you understand what you're doing. The counter to that, to me, are the breaks, right? I think breaks are somewhat predatory at times. Yes, if you have the money and you know what you're getting into, that's your call. Like, spend the money however you want. But I feel like a lot of people get kind of hoodwinked into the breaks a little bit. If you don't know what they are, essentially everyone buys into a slot. Maybe they're opening a case of cards, or just a couple packs of cards, or maybe they have like a bunch of different items available, and there's a wheel that spins, and whatever you land on when you purchase it, that's what you get. That's more of like a surprise set, but it's a similar concept. It's essentially gambling. And the breaks specifically, I've seen people spend hundreds of dollars on a break, buying into a set of hobby boxes, and they get, for example, the Jets or something like that. They roll a bad team, and then they ultimately don't get anything of value. I've seen people spend hundreds of dollars in breaks and get literally zero items, and so that's where it feels really like easy to take advantage of people who get excited. They see, okay, I have a chance of getting this downtown Patrick Mahomes and it's worth thousands of dollars. That's what I'm going to get. But really, you end up with a $20 card and you put hundreds of dollars into it. Yes, that's the kind of gambling that collectors should be used to by opening packs and stuff like that. But it does feel really bad that somebody else is opening them. Somebody else is kind of in control of your fate. Ultimately, the breakers are a business, so they're looking to make money. So the value for the break is never going to match up with what the money that they're looking to bring in. You'd be better off in many cases just buying a hobby box or buying something like that yourself. Maybe if you can buy in specifically to the team you want, and that's the only team you collect. But even then, it can feel really bad if you skunk on something and you don't even have anything to flip at that point, right? If I open a hobby box and I don't find the cards that I'm looking for, I could sell them myself on Whatnot or eBay or something like that and hopefully recoup some of that value. That's what I do when I rip packs in order to minimize the cost to myself and understand that I might not get the full value back, but at least there's a mitigated risk there. With the breaks, I feel like it removes a lot of that, and that's really where, for me, they can be a bit of an issue. Other than that, I think the general tips that I would leave to people looking to buy on Whatnot: look around before you just start buying stuff. It's easy to just swipe, not realize that you just spent $40 without even thinking about it, and now all of a sudden you are in pretty deep compared to something like eBay. Also, check out shows of all different sizes. The bigger ones, they might have better giveaways. They might have higher end cards, but the low ones could surprise you as well. Some of them will have very good cards as they're looking to rise up on the platform, and that's really the challenge for a lot of the new streamers on the site as well. Again, I'll probably do a separate video on my general process selling on the site for those who are curious. You can also, if you want to, you can refer people to as a seller, as a buyer. I'll leave the links to that in the description down below. If you're curious about checking out the site, use my link. It does help me out. Plus, one of the big bonuses that I didn't even mention is that the first time you sign up for Whatnot, you get a free $15 credit, which you can use for whatever. It is very nice, and I would highly encourage everybody who is a sports card collector to at least sign up and check out the site. If it's not for you, that's fine, but use that $15, see where it gets you, and then go from there. I think it's a very smart thing to do. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like the video, as always, comment, subscribe. My name is Jopa. Have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.